Hello and welcome to Advertising City. This is a very funny and strange place to be. Now I'll give you just a brief tour in the city, just to show you how the things are going on here, how people live here, what they do, their habits and their routines. So as you can see, the landscape of the city it's very white, but it has its purpose. And the purpose is because everyone here in the city wants to advertise himself. That's their main purpose. That's why they live in advertising city. By having that landscape, that white landscape, so their colors, their letters, and actually their messages to people, they can reach the people easily and easily attract them. So as you've already noticed that there is something in common between all the citizens and the buildings here, and this is the fact that they're all quite flat, and also they pretty much have the same shape. They're quite rectangular. So they're flat? They they haven't always been like that, but because by trying to advertise themselves, they were shouting quite loudly. That's why they became breathless and just stick to the landscape. That's why they don't even speak anymore. Even though, yeah, you can see they have the same language, the same letters, but unfortunately they cannot speak. Or actually, they speak, but they speak in different frequencies, so we cannot hear them. They can hear themselves, but we cannot hear them. So the only way we can understand what they're doing, what they're saying, is by looking at them and exploring what they have to say. So here it is. Probably that's their Big Brother TV reality show. You see, there is the eye. It's very recognizable. So here it is, more letters. You see that they've got numbers, which is great. Here's some. They've got C. Of course, they're not all flat. So, for instance, this little fellow here, has the ability to move. You can see, but if he opens himself, so he wouldn't be able to say what he has to say, which is Merry Christmas in this case. So yeah, they listen to the music. They quite enjoy it. Of course, they're quite quiet fellows. So, for instance, this one, it's not that how to say, hasn't got vivid colors. Like, for instance, where is that guy? Yeah, like for instance this one, which is quite bright, but still, yeah, they kind of get on with each other. So here it is. As I said, they're all flat. That's not really true, because I don't know if you have noticed, for instance, those guys, because there are a couple of them. So that's one of them. So I'll go and show you the other one. They're all in different places all around the city. They're the guards of the city. They do not let anyone escape from the city. If someone tries to escape, this is what happens to them. So they're punished and they're doomed to hang down from the landscape. So they have nothing to say, because they cannot talk, no letters, nothing. It's just hanging down. Quite unfortunate, yeah. It's strange because most of them, not to say all of them, they do not want to escape, because if they escape, they go to the oblivion and no one would hear what they're saying. And they're quite creative in terms of advertising themselves. So, for instance, here you can see they use images, and they use characters from different worlds. So, for instance, you can see this fellow. He's trying to attract us. I mean, us as people from other cities to go there and pay attention on him. So he has something very important to say. They all have. So you see, this is quite an abstract one. Probably he's an artist, I reckon. Of course, they all, the citizens, some of them quite enjoy doing sports. So for instance, like this one, and here you can see there's a guy doing jogging, so 1 mile or 2 miles. I don't know why he's running backwards. I mean, he's running on the opposite direction where the arrow points out. But yeah, that's his way of running. As I said, there are artists. So I'll go quickly to their art society. So here it is. It's a big society. Probably it's the biggest society in this city, which is great. So they do respect art, and they make art, and they really shout out what they do. You see, we've got the guitarist there, loads of animals, which is bizarre how animals in this city, how they're interested in art, and they try to make art. They enjoy it. And here it is. This is their museum. As you can see, that's Danger Museum Recycled. So they're quite aware of that their art is very abstract and sometimes quite complicating and confusing. They always say you have to get your head around to understand our art. So look at that, guys. Look at that guy here, up there. So he was trying to get his head around, but he ended up upside down. Probably too hard spin for him. More animals in the museum. They're visitors, and of course they're human beings, and they all try to get their heads around. Of course, more images. Some of them, they just have something to say. They don't want to attract. They're like politicians. They just say, turn left, turn right. Just give us orders. Here it is. So this is he's actually from our world. He's from Ventna. Oh, that's Isle of Wight. So yeah, you can see they come from all over the world in this city, and they just get stuck here. So here's a woman. This is their military service. Another woman. As I said, they come from all over the world. So I'll show you that guy, for instance. He's quite hidden, I think, quite closed about himself. Doesn't want to say anything, but this is just another way to attract people. So you become curious, you wonder, oh, what he wants to say. So you get closer, and then he opens himself. You see that's different language, which proves that that's a very international city. So it looks like a recipe. So I presume that this guy is quite a domestic guy. Of course, there are warning everywhere. They have their rules. If you're going to dance, you have to be separate from each other. So there are more space around you to dance, to move, to enjoy yourself. Here it is. I want to show you some of the remains. This is from the time when they used to move around. This is a swing, so they come here, swing, enjoy themselves, but unfortunately they're not able to do that anymore. Here it is, the key of the town, the key of the city, not the town. That's sorry for this mistake. So this is the key from the city, and here it is the trick, because there is a key, but there is no keyhole. So once you get here, you must stay here and do what you're supposed to do. That's another sun, which is artificial sun, but trying to make people warm. Their sun is the only thing that quite sticks out from the city, but if we have a closer look at it, you see it's pretty much flat all over the place, but that's not exactly, depends on the angle you're looking at it. Yeah, it's easy to come but hard to escape. Here it is. This is someone used to live here. It's not here anymore, which is sad, very sad. They don't want to leave the city, because if they leave it, they have no reason to live. It is, so yeah, of course, that's their zoo. They've got different animals. Here it is another animal. Oh yeah, that section is their zoo. It's not very well populated, but because animals, they're quite calm creatures. They haven't got much to say, but somehow they got confused and came around, and now they have to stay here. So here it is, another piece of art. Yeah, and more animals. Oh, it's signed Picasso. That's their Picasso. Yeah, as I said, they're quite similar to us, but they don't speak our language. They speak their language, and which is very bizarre. They do hear themselves, but they can't stand each other, because of course they're in a massive competition about advertising themselves. But somehow they get on. They just get on very well. See, more words here, and they get on with each other just because of the simple reason that they have nothing else to do. They have to. So here's more a garden you can see here. Another hidden guy. That's a very I think it's a modern strategy of attracting people, just to hide yourself somewhere and not to move, or just to expose yourself as that transparent lady. Another interesting fact is they're very aware of drinking. You can see the unit calorie calculator, so they know how much they drink, and they're quite aware not to go over and not to get very drunk. They have names. That's Bob. It quite stands out. Bob, probably the only one with this name. Some of them are quite scary. So, for instance, look at that guy. Yeah, it's the same shape as our houses, and at first sight, it's quite alright. It's a house, red roof, but if we get a close look, so you'll find out something very strange. How when you get closer to this guy, actually scares you. Tricky, cheeky. So of course there are different shapes. I said they're quite rectangular, but still you can see some round people, more and more. And because they're all the time in a competition, of course there's winners, and they're quite proud of themselves, as this one. He has a sign which says win on it, so he has won something in the past. More of those flopping guys. They all say Merry Christmas, bro. That's their tradition. They got Christmas there. Probably they brought it from our world. So that small guy there. We've got to be very very careful while moving. Not to distract them and not to interact with them too much. Otherwise, we may get quite attracted and want to live in that city, which is not bad. It's not bad. Of course. Oh, here it is. Oh, that poor fellow. He's quite lonely. He has nothing to say. I don't know if this is a strategy or he's just waiting there, someone to put something on him, like a letter, like a sentence, just to have something to say. I don't know. This is the weirdest guy in the city. So of course, yeah, they have. What's that? Greetings from Ventnor. Yeah, I mean they have a very good correspondence with other cities and towns around the world. So they try to attract more and more citizens, because the more they have a reason for living, because the competition becomes harder and they have opportunity to prove themselves. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can show you in the city, and the main things in it. Alright then, I'll leave it here. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I'll make sure that I'll let you know when I find another city bizarre like this one. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later.